Even though today we may have seen a pretty sluggish and boring kind of day, we noticed that volatility was able to confirm a signal that does not necessarily mean that we're going to see some slow days from here on out. And a lot of the time when you do get those slow days, it means a big move is coming. So we need to pay attention, talk about volatility, talk about the SPY and the Qs, talk about a few other things, and get you guys some daily expected moves. So let's get into it. We were overall discussing how if the 2 hour is able to curl up, that is how we raise the floor here. We have to squeeze, and that is very possible with VIXpiration, with OPEX, so we'll be paying attention. We want to look for little traps and things like that, but I think it's important to go over volatility before we get into the SPY and the Qs. Volatility here was able to confirm up on the 2 hour chart, confirming 4 hour divergence and all that good stuff. But we did see the 30-minute was able to turn down, which is something that we also talked about in the video over the weekend and on Patreon. The fact that we could see another moment kind of like this one, but we do have 30-minute divergence. So we said be aware if the 2 hour has crossed down. We have not seen that at this point. The only thing volatility does tell us is two things here. The daily scale has confirmed up. It is a red bar, but don't get it twisted, because we do see that volatility is up by 5% on the dot here, confirming above the 9-day moving average, and confirming above the 5, and confirming on the MACD, and confirming on the RSI with those potential divergences down there, triple divergence down there for volatility. So we need to be very aware that volatility can come in at any point, even if it wants to take care of a gap first by heading to the upside in this market. Let's pop over to the 30-minute chart to talk about the last thing with volatility, because today you might be going, oh, well, volatility is dropping off. We're just going sideways. You really didn't get the best hint for tomorrow. But one thing that we can consider, and the only real hints that you do have going into tomorrow, is the confirmation of the VIX above the 9 on the 30-minute. You do have the MACD still in positive territory, but not crossed up, which is unfortunate. And you do have confirmation above the center line and the signal line for your RSI, meaning volatility is still potentially building at this point. We will look out for divergences and things like that for this to reverse back down in order for that 2 hour to cross down. And we will make you aware of that here in these videos and also over on Patreon. We will see that the SPY was able to do some good things here. Volatility was able to confirm the daily chart up with all those divergences. But notice that the SPY has not crossed down yet. And this is what I'm getting at when I say people could be very taken off guard if they keep getting into those calls a month out. So it's important for tomorrow to get some daily expected moves. We see that the daily expected moves are 629.24 to the upside for the SPY. We have 620.38 to the downside for the SPY. Now, you do have some pretty good confirmations here for that 2 hour divergence. So very, very nice. Just a sluggish day. Is it going to drop down? We'll have to find out, because normally when you do see this, you actually get some reversals, but we do have VIXpiration and OPEX where you can see a little bit of funky stuff. So we're not going to go into much here because we went over that on the weekend. If the 2 hour is able to cross up and you squeeze, you can raise that floor and extend this for a period of time. We need to be paying attention to the 30-minute chart, though, because this thing is very, very close to the center line, and I would watch for this tomorrow morning. If the 30-minute is able to curl down into negative territory, it would mean the opposite of the 2 hour for now. For now, right? We would mainly just say that the daily expected move is where we could get to if this 30-minute is able to cross down. But I want you to notice that it is actually really close to going negative. If you really look back throughout these times, the times where the 30-minute has actually been able to go negative are the times that we actually get volatility to come in. If you go look at these times, you'll actually see that a lot of the time we are catching ourselves right at that center line. We are catching ourselves right at that center line. But when we cross through it pretty confidently, we actually see that volatility remain for some time. So be watching that 30-minute tomorrow, because that 30-minute could mean more than you think. And implied volatility going into tomorrow has gone up. Doesn't mean a big move has to come, but it does mean usually when you see kind of a drag out kind of day, you get something to go a little bit bigger. So for now, the bullish scenario is the 2 hour is able to curl up. You actually squeeze. You don't make some kind of 2 hour triple divergence or anything like that. And this thing needs to squeeze to raise that floor. The bearish scenario here is the 30-minute is able to cross down and go negative, and then start that negative trend to get to that bottom side weekly expected move. And now let's go check out the Qs. The Qs are in a roughly similar spot for the 30-minute. Not necessarily a good thing to cross down, but not necessarily a super risky look as far as right now goes for the Qs. I think if you're really paying attention for risk, you're going, hey, the 2-hour, we've already confirmed divergence. Oh, the 30-minute management for the trade may have came in. So maybe tomorrow I am watching this 30-minute pretty closely and saying, hey, if we roll down without making a new high, we might take out this low over here. We might even head down to that weekly expected move bottom side. If you didn't know, the weekly expected moves are in purple. If you needed those for the SPY, go over to when we were looking at it and make sure to pause the video. And if you want weekly expected moves for anything on the right side of your screen, the Patreon link is down in the description. But tomorrow's daily expected moves, 560.82 to the upside, 551.60 to the downside. Implied volatility has increased a little bit here. So because we had low implied volatility today, we saw a drag out kind of day. Okay. We have a little bit higher implied volatility going into tomorrow. So let's just have our head on a swivel. If we come down to that daily expected move and then we actually turn back up and make a new high, what if the 2-hour is curling up? This is where the 30-minute turns down, risk of a bigger drop. But then if it catches itself and the 2-hour is able to turn up at any time, if this turns up at any time, we might be doing what? Raising that floor and end up in the other direction. You have to be prepared for both sides, especially around VIX and OPEX. This is overall how I see the market at this point. But right now, I am still leaning heavily towards some kind of funky business going on here, and we could see this thing top out at any point as long as we do not turn up that 2-hour chart. I wanted to point something out that was kind of interesting to me, and that was TLT. TLT is setting up a 2-hour divergence that does have potential to confirm 30-minute. It might take some time here, but 30-minute does show the divergence extended across. So just be aware of that. 30-minute divergence here, you tear down. If this is an extended 30-minute divergence and you're able to go positive here, it could mean big things. Now, that being said, you could make one in the near price action, but let's actually talk about the 2-hour signal because this is the big confirmation. This means that yields are about to drop off dramatically, but for what reason would be very important to pay attention to? And is it even going to confirm? As it is not confirmed right now, we can see this thing continue to the downside. But I did want to point this out before it does confirm for your benefit that you do have those divergences on the MACD and RSI at the same time. Those same things can be seen from the 10-year yield on the I believe it's the 4-hour chart. We do see the 4-hour divergence, which is in my mind, what I'd like to do when I back tested these things, I found that looking at a 4-hour chart and comparing it to the 2-hour with regular hours. So anything that trades more than regular hours or moves more than regular hours, I am paying attention to a 4-hour chart and acting like it's my 2-hour. So you'll see that the 10-year is also showing the potential 4-hour divergence here. Now, this is not confirmed. You are making a new high. We have to see if it actually curls down into negative territory to confirm that divergence. Now, we did see another day where the market was able to hold up while the dollar continued to just steadily climb higher. You do have forms of divergence on your RSI. That MACD divergence is starting to go away, which means we can catch ourselves at any time and turn to the upside for the dollar. I know everyone probably wants to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin going up, 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 and away, 4-hour divergence as well. It really looks like Bitcoin might want to pull back into something like 114.6K, if not all the way down into something like 110. So we will be watching for something like that, but it is very likely with this amount of room that it is going to be able to curl to the upside. This is a 4-hour signal, which means be prepared if the daily chart is able to cross down. If the daily chart does cross down, though, you might think, oh, this is some bad divergence. Okay, you can probably pay attention to that for risk. But as far as the RSI goes, you're kind of wiping out a lot of these things. So I don't have too much confidence that Bitcoin's just going to top out all of a sudden, but it definitely could, and things could rotate into other places. So Bitcoin looks very interesting to me. I think that it does have the chance to continue the move as we were suggesting. If it did start to break to the upside, we can see something like 128.9K, and that's what I'm really watching for over there. Really, when you look at this market for now, we can go through some of the stocks that we were paying attention to. Tesla, overall, we put this out and we were talking about this on Patreon. We see the 2-hour divergence. The 2-hour is still holding to the upside. The 2-hour made a new high. It is above the 5. Things are starting to look good here for Tesla, which is very interesting to me. Now, when you look at the 30-minute chart, though, you are getting this flatness, like we at least need some kind of 2-hour pullback. What you would probably like to do is mark off this little zone and pay attention to 305.50 and see if you're able to hold that level for some kind of 2-hour pullback. Now, I wanted to bounce over to some that look a little bit worse, and that would still be Amazon. Now, Amazon, we were discussing how it could continue the move to get to that 229. And you see that the MACD is not necessarily negative yet here. So not necessarily seeing a hint from the shorter time frame, but volatility did confirm a daily signal, so be aware of it. The 2-hour for Amazon was able to create these divergences, but not able to confirm them yet. So we will be heavily paying attention to tomorrow as volatility is still in a positive trend on the 30-minute, as volatility is curled up on a 2-hour in positive territory, and as it just confirmed daily divergence. You want to watch out for names like Amazon that have this. They will need to squeeze to get rid of these signals. The daily chart is showing those divergences as well. So the daily chart is even saying that we could experience weakness here if we see some kind of tumble. So just be aware of it. Nvidia was able to go to the upside. Very, very nice. The 2-hour divergence, though, was able to confirm for Nvidia. So Nvidia is leaning towards a downward, probably a tag of the downward expected move. But we always know the management for the trade. If the 2 hour is able to curl back up into positive territory, that thing can head to the upside. You do have divergence on your MACD and your RSI at the same time. This means for me, the probabilities are very high that Nvidia can curl down the daily chart soon. And that would mean that Nvidia is pretty much on the brink, probably after OPEX this week, of seeing that actual daily volatility come in, where it might want to go test something like 143.46. But if it wants to leak it out for some time, we could head all the way down to 133. If it wants to go all the way into September and be very, very, very bad, then we can start to watch 14, but that is well down the line. So first step, looking at 143.34 for Nvidia. Just a couple others we were paying attention to. AMD has not confirmed the divergence yet, so we will pay attention to this. The 30-minute was climbing up here, potentially making a 30-minute divergence right there. So there is a lot of weakness across the board here, and which means this stuff probably will need to squeeze, and it is much more probable to do what at this point? It is much more probable to start to see volatility come in. It is much more probable to get some kind of daily pullback for a lot of these stocks. If you even go look at Meta, you're seeing it's holding that level right here. It's really holding. But Meta is not able to go make a new high. This means that it is at risk of rolling the 30-minute below the 5-day moving average. You notice that you actually almost so close. You did with the RSI, you did with the price action. So you have a few reasons there. This is why we discussed this over on Patreon this morning. But Meta looks very, very nice for the time being. To roll the move, if we make divergences or anything like that, we will mention it. So the way that Meta is able to squeeze is while it is close to the center line for the 2 hour, you are able to see a big move and confirm up and see an extended move to take you not only past this high, but past this one. And then we can continue for a little bit of time. As we look forward, I know we talked about some of the memers here, and the 30-minute was able to just overall move sideways for AMC. Still positive at this moment. I still say when I really looked at the moment, when it absolutely popped off, the 30-minute was never able to curl down. So that means you might have a little bit of time for this to like curl up and tell you if it's going to. I think that AMC is still at risk of seeing a 30-minute pullback down into possibly the gap fill towards $3 before it is able to bounce up again. GME, it's still just looking a little bit rough, but not as rough as far as like Friday's price action took you above the 5. It doesn't look like horrible or anything like that. It looks like it's raising the floor in some way from the price point of down here towards 22.50. And it looks like if the 30-minute does curl up into positive territory, hey, that could be a shot for us to go make those new highs. Watch out for divergence. The 2 hour was actually able to get positive, which is very, very nice for GME. It means it has a shot of doing some interesting things. So these things, I'll probably be very, very patient with these, but I'm still paying attention to how I can be wrong. And I think that is a very, very good thing. I think that's overall what we needed to go over for today. Not a ton has changed because of such a lackluster day. The big change was volatility was able to confirm a daily divergence and pull back on the 30-minute, but remain positive, not confirming down the 2 hour to violate the daily signal. So this is a very interesting look. The market is like setting itself up for volatility to come in, but are we going to see that volatility before OPEX this Friday, the expiration, or is it going to do some funky stuff before? So we will continue to update you here and on Patreon about these things. If the 2 hour is able to confirm up into positive territory and see some kind of squeeze, we would raise the floor. We would start paying attention to the upward weekly expected move and maybe even the upward monthly expected move. But for now, we would also want to watch a 30-minute as that is a little bit of a quicker signal and say, hey, if the 30-minute does curl down, we have a point to pay attention to for tomorrow. If we want to continue some kind of negative trend, well, then that's how we would end up down into 614.18, that downward weekly expected move. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Really appreciate you guys being a part of this community, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.